Alright, let's cut to the chase. You've seen the sleek designs, the whisper-quiet performance, maybe even heard whispers of a tech revolution. But the question burning in your mind, the one that's kept you clicking and searching, is, how much does an M1 really cost? Not just the sticker price, mind you. We're talking the real cost. The cost of upgrading your workflow, the cost of potential future-proofing, the cost of joining a new ecosystem. Because let's be honest, buying an M1 isn't just about grabbing a chip, it's about buying into a philosophy. Think back to the last time you were truly frustrated with your computer. Maybe it was a spinning beach ball that seemed to mock your productivity, or a video render that took longer than a transatlantic flight. Or perhaps it was simply the creeping feeling that your machine was falling behind, struggling to keep up with the demands of modern software. That's where the M1 entered the conversation, promising a paradigm shift. Apple's M1 chip, and its subsequent iterations like the M1 Pro, Max, and Ultra, fundamentally changed the landscape of personal computing. They weren't just incremental upgrades, they were a bold step away from the traditional x86 architecture, a move towards a unified system on a chip, SoC, that integrated the CPU, GPU, and other components onto a single die. This integration brought about significant improvements in performance, power efficiency, and overall user experience. But let's get back to that core question, how much? The answer, as you might expect, is it depends. It depends on what you need, what you value, and what you're willing to invest. First, let's break down the hardware itself. The M1 chip debuted in the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro 13-inch, and Mac Mini. Initially, the base models were surprisingly affordable, especially considering the performance gains they offered. We saw a shift from the previous Intel-based models, with a price point that was competitive, and in many cases, even lower for the base models. However, the M1 family expanded rapidly. The M1 Pro and Max, found in the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros, and the M1 Ultra, powering the Mac Studio, cater to a different audience, professionals who demand the absolute best. These chips command a premium, reflecting their increased core counts, memory bandwidth, and overall processing power. So, when we talk about the cost of an M1, we're not just talking about the base MacBook Air. We're talking about a range of devices, from the entry-level to the high-end, each with its own price tag. Let's look at some examples. A base model MacBook Air with an M1 might have been a very accessible entry point, perfect for everyday tasks, web browsing, and light productivity. But if you're a video editor, a 3D artist, or a software developer, you'll likely need the power of an M1 Pro, Max, or Ultra. That means looking at the higher-end MacBook Pros or the Mac Studio, where prices can climb significantly. And it's not just the chip itself. The cost of an M1 also includes the ecosystem it resides in. Apple's software and hardware are tightly integrated, which can be both a blessing and a curse. The seamless integration between macOS and Apple's own apps is a major selling point, but it also means you're locked into the Apple ecosystem. This ecosystem comes with its own costs. If you're coming from a Windows or Linux environment, you might need to purchase new software or adapt to different workflows. While many popular applications are now optimized for Apple Silicon, some specialized software might still require Rosetta 2 translation, which can impact performance. Then there's the cost of peripherals and accessories. If you're building a desktop setup around a Mac Mini or Mac Studio, you'll need to factor in the cost of a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Apple's own peripherals are premium priced, but there are plenty of third-party options available. But let's not forget the intangible costs. The cost of learning a new operating system, the cost of adapting to a different workflow, the cost of potential compatibility issues. These are all factors that need to be considered. However, there's also the cost of not upgrading. The cost of lost productivity, the cost of frustration, the cost of falling behind. If your current computer is slowing you down, the investment in an M1 might be a worthwhile one. The M1's power efficiency translates to longer battery life on MacBooks, which can be a significant advantage for those who are always on the go. The performance gains can also save you time and money in the long run, especially if you're a professional who relies on demanding software. Think of it this way: if you're a video editor who can render videos twice as fast on an M1 Mac, that's not just a performance boost, it's a time-saving, money-making opportunity. The ability to complete projects faster means you can take on more work and increase your earning potential. And what about the future? Apple's commitment to Apple Silicon suggests that the M1 family is just the beginning. Future generations of Apple Silicon chips will likely bring even greater performance and efficiency gains. Investing in an M1 today might be a way to future-proof your setup, ensuring that you're ready for the next wave of software and hardware innovations. The cost of an M1 is also about the experience. The smooth, responsive performance, the quiet operation, the seamless integration between hardware and software, these are all factors that contribute to a more enjoyable and productive computing experience. So, to answer the question directly, how much does an M1 cost? It depends on your needs, your budget, and your priorities. If you're looking for a powerful and efficient computer for everyday tasks, the base model MacBook Air or Mac Mini might be a great option. If you're a professional who demands the absolute best, you'll need to consider the higher-end MacBook Pros or the Mac Studio. Ultimately, the cost of an M1 is an investment. It's an investment in your productivity, your creativity, and your future. It's an investment in a new way of computing, a way that's faster, more efficient, and more enjoyable. It's also an investment that requires you to consider your own workflow. What software do you use? What tasks do you perform? How important is portability? How important is performance? Answering these questions will help you determine which M1 Mac is right for you. Don't just look at the sticker price. Consider the total cost of ownership, including the cost of software, peripherals, and potential upgrades. And don't forget the intangible costs, such as the cost of learning a new operating system or adapting to a different workflow. But also, consider the potential return on investment. The time you save, the productivity you gain, the frustration you avoid, these are all factors that can offset the initial cost of an M1. The M1 represents a significant leap forward in personal computing. It's a chip that has redefined what's possible in a laptop or desktop computer. And while the cost of an M1 can vary depending on your needs, the value it provides is undeniable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.